So we're going to be live in about 2 minutes. So what I'll do is bring you on. We'll talk a little bit about the fake news. Okay, so just go along with it. You better get the headphones on. And I'll point to you when we're live. You got to have the headphones on.
You're listening to Night Dreams Radio with Gary Anderson.
Hey, that is me. Hey, on the news today, the fake news that doesn't exist, that they say it's only a figment of our imagination, that it's untrue. Well, anyway, there was another study done about, yes, alcohol. This study has been going on, Kevin, for 14 years now. And
oh, yeah?
Yeah, 14 years.
14 years?
14 years.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you drink a lot, then that's probably not good for you.
It's not good for you. You know what they said, Kevin? They said that drinking alcohol will boost on how long you will live. So in other words, if you drink a lot of alcohol, you'll live longer.
Hey, well, you remember the movie Titanic? You told me the guy...
The cook.
Well, the guy that was drinking...
Yeah, the cook of the ship, yes, the head cook.
He was drinking out of that flask right before the ship went down. And
hey, Kevin, he was drinking all the time on the ship. I mean, he was a flaming alcoholic.
Well, you told me he actually survived.
Yeah, he actually jumped into the water as the ship was going under and managed to survive. And they said the reason why he survived, Kevin, is because he was full of alcohol and it acted like antifreeze in his body.
Well, do you think alcohol could have its perks sometimes?
Well, I guess so. This study says that
if you're on a cruise ship.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, if you drink a lot of alcohol, I guess you'll live longer than if you don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, especially if you're on the Titanic.
Yes, but anyway, that's only if you believe the news. As we've been told, the news is all fake. So each night I give a little bit of news on the show. And naturally, you better not believe it because it's all fake.
Well, the cryptocurrency, that stuff dropped in prices. And also, we could be at war with North Korea by April. But,
oh, wow. Is that because what you said last night?
But it could be...
I bet it's because what you said last night.
Kim Jong-un came out the closet.
Well, that's not what it said. He came out of the darkness.
Well, he came out the shadows.
Shadows, yes. Okay, but
come on.
You took that and kind of like led it on to me to believe that he came out of the closet.
Well, he came out of the closet.
Well,
That probably gives a lot of people the Asian fever. Like, oh my God,
I don't know, but hey, if we go to war with them, you know what though? Because certain words
came out the closet.
Certain words, Kevin, you say on the radio, okay, or on the telephone, or picked up according to that one agent we had who used to be with the DOD. They record it, okay? So because
I tell you?
You said that one of our people listening on our show was from North Korea. That's what you came in and told me.
Well, didn't I tell you?
Yeah,
North Korea followed us on Twitter. North Korea News followed us on Twitter.
That's because you said what you said. So now we could be walking in an airport and some lady could bump against you, Kevin, and you could like have a massive coronary and die because what you just said. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Hey,
but too bad I don't go to airports, so I should be okay.
Well, I'll give you the bus fare to the airport, and if you
to the nearest one.
Yeah, you might try it out.
We'll find out.
Yes. Anyway,
I'll let you know.
Anyway, tonight we got Miss M. She does numbers, and she's. Well, I'm going to bring her on in a second, and I think it's going to be an interesting show tonight. Make sure you tell your friends about Night Dreams. We're on Monday through Friday to 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific West Coast time. So, with that in mind, with that in mind, we're going to see if we have our numbers lady here. Hey, Miss M, are you there? Hello. Okay, maybe I hit the wrong button again, like always. Okay, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, well, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing really good. And how's the weather where you're at?
Well, it's a little chilly, but you can't argue with 60 degrees in February.
60 degrees. Oh, wow. That's the tropics for me.
Yeah,
I know.
Snowing over here.
I'm so grateful because I start to shiver like a toy chihuahua below 80. So.
Wow.
I like it.
Where we live, okay, when it gets up to 80, I mean, you run in the house and you turn the air conditioning on and you're dying from the heat because you're not used to it. I will say this. My father, for many, many years when I was a little kid, every time him and my mom would get in a fight, he would say, I'm going back to California, in the Bay Area and all that stuff. And then when we go to visit our relatives around Oakland and San Francisco and San Diego, he was dying from the heat. I mean, he was stripped down to his underwear, sweating and saying, I can't take the heat, I can't take the heat. But, we live up in Gig Harbor, Washington.
And so the happy ending is that they stopped fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. But anyway, like today, actually last night we had 18 degrees last night. I woke up this morning.
And where are you?
Gig Harbor, Washington.
Oh, my gosh.
And, beautiful area, but I woke up and there was snow on my stairs and snow on the roads, and there was a lot of snow today. So, but then it had blue skies and that quit snowing. So, I'm happy. It's still cold.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Miss M, why don't you tell everybody about you?
Okay. It's a short book. I am a psychic numerologist, and a teacher, and I do a bunch of other things. But for our purposes, I am a psychic numerologist, and I have been practicing professionally for about 4 years. I've been doing it all my life. I hear your dog. So cute. I've been doing it, all my life, but about 4 years ago, I just had a spike in my abilities. I started studying with another enlightened master. My first teacher had passed away, and my friends were just like, you have to do this more because it's very, very helpful. And so I just sort of transitioned to doing that, and that's what I'm doing now. And I have a school, Miss M's Number You, and we are starting classes, in fact, this weekend.
Uh-huh.
And they are brick and mortar classes, so it's not online. They're in California, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very busy, which is why I haven't done another YouTube video. Not that you asked, but here I am telling you. It's just because it's just been a little crazy, and but I'm fixing to. Like
okay.
National, I'm fixing to. Yeah. So anyway, so that's a little bit about me.
Oh wow! So a lot of people don't understand. We got people like now. We were looking at a report today, like 116 countries listening to our show, and believe it,
grief, man. And
our biggest listenership, you ready for this, is in the UK and Australia. I'm trying to figure that out, but that's where our biggest listenership is. And I think it's because how old their civilization is, compared to the United States. So a lot more spooky things. Go on, I guess, and those old buildings in the UK.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. So why don't you explain what it is you do for the people who don't know? I don't even know a lot myself about it. I'm more into like UFOs and Bigfoot and, aliens and stuff like that. So go ahead and explain that to our audience out there.
Okay, well, numerology is a system of, it's a study of the broader energetic meanings of numbers. So, in other words, you're looking at the values through certain calculations and what they mean in a broader sense. You're not just looking at the measurement of them. You're looking at the energetic meaning of them and what they point to, what they mean also in a set of other numbers, how they relate to other numbers. So some folks say that it's the occult study of numbers. Okay, occult is a word that's thrown around, and sometimes people don't really know what it means, and it's it causes a lot of sideways glances because it's like, oh, that's occult and that's bad and dark and all that sort of thing. Occult just means hidden. So it's not that it's not like the mathematical use of numbers. It is the broader energetic meaning of numbers. And so that's what I do. I interpret those. And so you have certain calculations that you do with numbers in your life to get at certain things. So using numerology, you can divine and or gain insight into the past, present, and future. And that's really what it's for. And ultimately, I mean, the big secret is that it's really for understanding who we are. Because once we understand who we are, then we get the picture. We can see, like, in the Matrix, we can see when the ones and zeros, like when Neo has his enlightenment experience, you could say, after he has a near-death experience and he stops the bullet and then he sees, what's really behind all the holograms in the Matrix. He sees the ones and zeros, and that's kind of like what numerology is. It's patterns. So when you start the study of numerology, you start to see those patterns. You start to see the matrix. And it is a noodle fry, let me tell you, and anybody can do it.
Even me?
Does that make sense?
Could a person like me do it?
If I can do it, you can do it.
Okay.
Yes.
I just was curious.
Yes, it's very accessible, yes.
I have a hard time even remembering where I put my shoes from the night before, so I'm not that age. But so, what can you do with all these numbers? I mean, what can be done?
Okay, well, you can, like, let's say you want to figure out if you should stay with a certain person. But let me tell you something: if you're really asking that question, don't even get a reading.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, 9 times out of 10, when if you have that question because one foot's out the door and you're not like really imbalanced, don't waste your money. Just go. The writing's on the wall, but there are cases certainly in long-term relationships, and this is what it's for. In all honesty, because relationships are complicated and certain problems arise because they're positive sides numbers and negative sides numbers. And sometimes, when you're with someone over a period of time, things can get a little bent. It's no one's fault. Life happens, right? And sometimes people start living on the negative side of their